Commander-in-Chief, along with the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, and the Commander of Troops will now conduct an inspection by troop in the arms. Commanding the 1st Infantry Battalion is Major Edwin D. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please be seated? Commanding the 1st Infantry Battalion is Major Edwin D. Executive Officer, 1st Infantry Battalion, Community Infantry Brigade. The Armed Forces of Liberia Marching Band is commanded by 2nd Lieutenant Philip Papa. Alpha Company 1st Battalion is commanded by Lieutenant Joy A. Zaza. Commanding 2nd Battalion is Captain Joe Buo. Once again, Commanding 2nd Battalion is Captain Joe Buo. Alpha Company 2nd Battalion is commanded by Lieutenant Abraham B. Hodges. Bravo Company 2nd Battalion is commanded by 2nd Lieutenant Grant Yami. The Logistic Command, the Armed Forces of Liberia, is commanded by 1st Lieutenant Jeremiah Wallace. At this time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President and the Commander-in-Chief have just made a brief stop to the quarters to pay homage to the nation. The Medical Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia is commanded by 2nd Lieutenant Doris Sano. The Armed Forces Training Command is commanded by 1st Lieutenant Emmanuel Waze Molba. The Engineering Battalion, the 21st Engineering Battalion is commanded by 2nd Lieutenant Daniel Bade. The Liberia Coast Guard is commanded by St. Anderson P. Shamo Jr. The Liberia National Police is commanded by Superintendent Daniel Lane S. Bade. The Liberia Immigration Service is commanded by Officer Rubel Wedru. The Liberia Revenue Authority Department of Customs is commanded by Officer Sam S. Hooper. The Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency is commanded by Sergeant Gala S. Villiaman. The Monrovia City Police is commanded by Dave P. Davis. The Liberia Seaport Police is commanded by Patrolman Eastman Crook. The National Fishery and Aquaculture Authority is commanded by Inspector J. Foley Talon. The Peaceville City Police is commanded by Nathan F. Manning. The Liberia Sport Association is commanded by Commissioner Prima Locke. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, since the enactment of legislation on 26 January 1957, tradition has it that every year many contributions they gave to Liberia and acknowledging their sacrificial works for this nation and the people of Liberia. The record of the armed forces of Liberia speaks for itself. It has a rich heritage, distinguished by those who carry its colors throughout history. The heritage maintained by those who wear the uniforms today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today's parade is in commemoration of the 65th Armed Forces Day celebration. Once more. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may we all please rise. Please remain in stand until Mr. President.
Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right.
Those who have gone before us. Generally, soldiers have one primary task: to be trained and ready to fight and win their nation's wars. This is achieved through competency and professionalism in battle. At this time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we humbly request the armed forces of distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Armed Forces of Liberia Marching Band is commanded by Second Lieutenant Philip Carter, and the drums major for today's parade is Corporal Dennis Stone. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'm pleased and honored to respectfully invite to the podium Honorable Spencer G. Enrico, Deputy Minister of Cooperation, Ministry of National Defense, for the introduction of the keynote speaker, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. His Excellency Jeremiah Kwankum, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. Mrs. Fatima Bio, First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The Speaker and members of the Honorable House of Representatives, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court, the President pro tempore and members of the Liberian Senate, the Dean and members of the Cabinet, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic Corps, Brigadier General Geraldine J. George, retired, Minister of National Defense, Major General Davidson F. Fuller, Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of Liberia, members of the AFL High Command, distinguished service order recipients, eminent citizens, officers and non-commissioned officers, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. While every year's Armed Forces Day is unique, this year's ceremony is extraordinary. For the first time in the history of the Armed Forces of Liberia, AFL, a certain head of state of a foreign nation will serve as our keynote speaker on Armed Forces Day. Born on May 12, 1964, in Tihun, Sobini, Bon District, he is one of 35 children of Paramount Chief Charlie Warren Bio II of Sobini Chiefdom. He credits his mother, Mami Amy, as the person from whom he acquired all his driving principles in life: calmness, hard work, and a staunch belief in God. He completed his primary, secondary, and undergraduate education in Sierra Leone. He holds a master's degree in international affairs from American University in Washington, D.C., USA. Most recently, he was a senior research fellow at the University of Bradford, United Kingdom, pursuing a doctorate program in peace studies. Always driven by a longing to serve his country, he started his illustrious public service journey as a school teacher before joining the Sierra Leone Army, where he rose through the ranks as brigadier. During the dark days of our civil conflict, he served within the Sierra Leone contingent under ECOMOG in 1991 for 7 months, putting his life in danger, as was the case with many other West African soldiers
with some who pay the ultimate price for the peace we now enjoy. This visionary statesman believes strongly in public service and has dedicated his entire life to its cause. Besides his career in teaching and military service, he has served as Chief Secretary of State, Chief of Defense Staff, Minister of Information, Minister of Marine Resources, Deputy Head of State, and ultimately as Head of State of Sierra Leone from January to March 1996. As Head of State, he presided over the conduct of the first democratic elections in Sierra Leone in nearly 3 decades. He is popularly referred to as the father of democracy because of his outstanding contribution towards the restoration of democracy and achievement of peace in Sierra Leone. This year, Armed Forces Day keynote speaker is the 5th President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. In June 2023, he was re-elected for his 2nd term after securing victory with more than 56% of the votes. Under his leadership, Sierra Leone has made remarkable progress. As passionate supporter of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, he hasn't just talked the talk, but walked the walk. His administration has expanded access to education for more than 1 million new learners through free quality education programs, enhanced energy accessibility, improved access to health care, increased access to water supply, and made significant gains in the control of corruption. Abraham Lincoln once said, if you want to test a man's character, give him power. He has not used the power given him through the democratic process for himself, but for the upliftment of the people of Sierra Leone. For his 2nd term, he has prioritized food security as his flagship program. He has ushered in significant government reforms within Sierra Leone. He repealed a 55-year-old seditious libel law, abolished the death penalty, enacted Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Act that guarantees 30% representation of women in governance, and enacted the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act that criminalizes marriage of anyone under the age of 18 in Sierra Leone. Due to his brilliant and visionary leadership, the government of Sierra Leone secured the approval of the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC Board of Directors for a substantial USD 480 million energy compact, the largest per capita investment in the sub-region by the MCC. On the international stage, President Bill has exhibited commendable leadership qualities. He co-chaired the Transforming Education Summit in 2022 alongside the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He also led as the chair of the African Union African Peer Review Forum of Heads of State and Government. Currently, he holds the position of chair of the African Union Committee of 10 for the reform of the United Nations Security Council, advocating the common African position laid out in the Isowini Consensus and the Third Declaration. Under his guidance, Sierra Leone's global standing has soared, gaining approval from 188 out of 192 United Nations member states to secure a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council after a half-century gap. In August 2024, President Bill presided over the United Nations Security Council and spearheaded a significant debate on the reform of the council. Sierra Leone is also an elected member of the African Union's Peace and Security Council, PSC, for the 2024 to 2026 term. President Biya has received numerous accolades for his exceptional leadership on both national and international stages. In 2022, he was named African of the Year at the 11th African Leadership Persons of the Year event. The following year, he was celebrated as African Person of the Year during the 8th Annual London Political Summit and Awards. In 2024, the United States Foreign Policy Association awarded President Biya his prestigious Foreign Policy Association Medal at the World Leadership Forum dinner. Our keynote speaker is well known and admired for his philanthropy. Through the work of the Mother and Fatima Biya Foundation, he donated food and other items to veterans and families affected by the 2014 Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone and during the environmental disaster of 2015. Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm profoundly honored to introduce and at this time kindly ask you to join me as we welcome to the podium a former economic soldier, founding head of Unity, Honor, Freedom and Justice, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Sierra Leone, Supreme Head of State, and Grand Commander of the Order of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Brigadier Julius Mada Wani Biya, retired President of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much. Let's sit down, please. After such a generous introduction, I don't even know where to start. Your Excellency, this is Numa Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, my dear brother, Jeremiah Kpankun, Madam First Lady, ambassadors, members of the diplomatic community, honorable ministers of government, chief of defense staff, and senior officers of the armed forces of Liberia, the chief of defense staff of the Republic of Sierra Leone, who is here to accompany me, distinguished guests, good morning. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to stand before you today on this very solemn yet inspiring occasion of the 68th anniversary of the Liberia Armed Forces. First, let me bring you warm greetings from the government and people of the Republic of Sierra Leone as we join you in celebrating the valor, dedication, and sacrifice of the men and women of the armed forces of Liberia. As we gather here today to pay tribute to your unwavering commitment to peace, security, and national development, I recall with nostalgia our days in the military, when we fought alongside the courageous soldiers of this great country, Liberia, in defense of lives and properties, and to bring lasting peace and security to our dear people. I'm happy that Liberia is peaceful. Of course, I'm happy to be at BTC again. For us as soldiers, I still think I'm a soldier, nothing else mattered more than protecting the territorial integrity of our beloved country and that of our neighbors. And that was why I was here. My neighbor needed my support. So for me, today's event brings back memories while reminding us of the humongous task ahead of us. The event's theme, sustainable peace and security through stakeholders' engagement, the role of the armed forces, is timely and relevant. It speaks to the very core of our shared aspirations as nations that have endured the trials and tribulations of conflict, emerged stronger, and continue to build institutions that safeguard democracy, stability, and progress. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the armed forces have always played a central role in ensuring national and regional security. Beyond the conventional duty of defending territorial integrity, today's military institutions are pivotal actors in fostering peace, responding to emergencies, supporting development initiatives, and strengthening democratic governance. Liberia and Sierra Leone share a history that underscores the importance of sustainable peace and security. A history that binds us in our commitment to a peaceful future. We have witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of conflict and also the experience of the power of resilience, reconciliation, and rebuilding. Our nations have learned that sustainable peace is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of justice, good governance, social cohesion, and economic opportunity. In this context, the engagement of all stakeholders, the government, civil society, international partners, and the security and armed forces is not just important, it is indispensable. Your role is crucial in our collective pursuit of peace and security, not only in Liberia, but in the sub-region. The military alone cannot maintain peace and security. It requires a concerted effort involving political leaders, security institutions, community organizations, and even ordinary citizens. Stakeholders' engagement fosters inclusiveness, while trust and cooperation are all essential for stability. The Liberian Armed Forces have undoubtedly demonstrated a commendable commitment to working with various sectors of society. Reinforcing the idea that the military is not an isolated entity, but an integral part of the nation's fabric. Through peacekeeping missions, humanitarian assistance, disaster response, and community service, they exemplify the evolving role of the armed forces in a democratic society. Similarly, Sierra Leone has embraced this approach. Our armed forces continue to engage with national and international stakeholders to uphold peace, support economic recovery, and contribute to regional stability through the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the African Union. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on and celebrate the armed forces' achievements, we also acknowledge these challenges ahead. The threat to peace and security in our region are evolving, ranging from transnational crime and cyber threats to climate-related conflicts and economic disparities. To address these threats effectively, we must strengthen our civil-military relations, promote capacity building, enhance regional collaboration, and strengthen democratic institutions. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today we must collectively celebrate not only the courage and sacrifice of the armed forces of Liberia, but also the fundamental role that they play in safeguarding peace, stability, democracy in Liberia and in the wider West African region. Like many of our nations, Liberia's history has been shaped by challenges that tested its institutions' resilience and people's will. You have prevailed, and therefore Liberia is still standing as a peaceful nation. Through all of these trials and tribulations, one truth remains evident. Sustainable peace and security cannot be achieved without the steadfast commitment of professional and disciplined armed forces. An army that serves not only as the protector of national sovereignty, but also as a pillar of democratic governance. In a world where democracy is constantly challenged by forces of division, conflict, and instability, ladies and gentlemen, I charge you, the gallant men and women of the armed forces of Liberia, to stand firm as guardians of the democratic order. Uphold the rule of law. Defend the constitutional government. Remain above politics and let your loyalty be to the people, the Constitution, and the democratic institutions that form the foundation of this great nation. History has shown us that when the military aligns with democratic values, nations prosper. When it deviates, society falters. Your commitment to professionalism, respect for human rights, and collaboration with civil institutions will not just strengthen Liberia's democracy, it will set an example for the region and reassure the people of your unwavering dedication to democratic values. Let your service be marked by integrity, patriotism, and unwavering dedication to peace. Be the shield that protects, not the sword that divides. Be the force that ensures stability, not the one that undermines it. Comrades, The people of Liberia look to you with trust. The region looks to you with expectation. And history will remember you for your steadfastness in upholding the principles of peace, justice, and democracy. Long live the armed forces. Long live the Republic of Liberia, and long live the sister Republic of Sierra Leone. Long live the continent of Africa. I wish you a successful celebration. May God bless us all.
Coming in. Did you come to you?
Please be seated. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen. At this time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to call on Major Milton Guaya, Training Officer, Armed Forces Training Command, for the reading of citation for DSO recipients.
Citation for distinguished service order. Brigadier General Julius Malabio, retired. Brigadier General Malabio is a distinguished statesman who has devoted his life to the service of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The civil officer's career marked by good leadership, sacrifice, and dedication has outstanding contributed to the country's democratic process and national security. Born on May 12, 1964, in Tohon, Sabuni, Kingdom, Bonte District, he hails from the lineage of leadership as one of the 35 children of Paramount Chief Charlie Warning Bio II. He pursued his education in Sierra Leone before becoming his public service journey as a teacher, later evolving into an exceptional military career. Brigadier General Bio rose through the ranks of the Sierra Leone Army, serving in key capacities, including Chief Secretary of State, Chief of Defense Staff, Minister of Information, Minister of Marine Resources, the Deputy Head of State, and ultimately Head of State. His tenure as Head of State from January to March 1996 was instrumental in Sierra Leone's transition to democratic governance, while regarded as the father of democracy. He played a pivotal role in organizing and overseeing the first democratic elections in nearly 3 decades, a statement to his visionary leadership. His service extended beyond military and political leadership to humanitarian efforts. Through the Mother and Fatima Bio Foundation, he provided crucial aid during national crises, including the 2014 Ebola outbreak and the environmental disasters of 2015. His philanthropic and commitment to the welfare of Sierra Leoneans highlights his selfless devotion to the nation and its people. Most recently, Brigadier General Bio pursued further academic excellence as Senior Research Fellow at the University of Bradford, United Kingdom, focusing on peace studies. This endeavor reinforces the lifelong dedication to peace and stability in Sierra Leone and beyond, cementing his legacy as a leader committed to national and global development. For his distinguished service to the Republic of Sierra Leone and his resolute commitment to peace and democracy in the Mara River Union, MRU, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, I, Joseph Imamwakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, do hereby decorate and award the distinguished service honor to Brigadier General Julius Marabio, retired. Your service to regional peace and international security is a source of enormous pride, which reflects distinguished care upon yourself, your family, your country, and the men and women of the armed forces of Liberia. Given this day, 11th day of February 2025, Brigadier General Johnny J. George, retired Minister of National Defense, Republic of Liberia, seal of the President, His Excellency Joseph Iman Boakai, Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Citation for distinguished service honor. Lieutenant General Daniel Ishmael Opandi, retired. Lieutenant General Daniel Lieutenant General Daniel Ishmael Opandi, retired, is an illustrious son of Kenya and was born on 18 August 1943, a graduate of the British Army Officer Cadet School. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant on 2nd May 1964. His military career has been defined by excellence, vision, and his steadfast commitment to peace and security in Africa. Throughout his distinguished service, Lieutenant General Opandi held key command and staff positions, including Vice Chief of General Staff and Commandant of the National Defense College of Kenya. He played a pivotal role in establishing the 1st Kenyan Armed Forces Parachute Unit, an infantry battalion, and Kenya's first United Nations peacekeeping contingent which supported Namibia's transition to independence. His contributions to peacekeeping and mediation are unparalleled. He served as Deputy Force Commander in Namibia, UNTAG, in 1989 to 1990. Chief Military Observer in Liberia, UNMIL, from 1993 to 1995, and Force Commander in Sierra Leone from 2000 to 2003, and Liberia, doing UNMIL from 2003 to 2004. His tenure in Liberia was instrumental in enhancing peace, improving security, and sustaining developmental growth. Beyond the battlefield, Lieutenant General Opandi has been a tireless advocate for peace, mediating Kenya's election process and contributing to Mozambique's peace process. His effort has earned him prestigious honor, including the Moral of the Golden Heart, Chief of the Burning Spear, and several United Nations peacekeeping medals. In retirement, he continues to influence Africa's future as a consultant, mediator, and educator, and his autobiography, In Pursuit of Peace in Africa, serving as a statement to his enduring legacy in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the armed forces of Liberia, the Republic of Liberia, and the African continent. I, Joseph Nimambuakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, do hereby decorate and award the Distinguished Service Order to Lieutenant General Daniel Ishmael Opandi. Your service brings credit upon yourself, your family, your country, and men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Given this 11th day of February 2025, Brigadier General Geraldine J. George retired, Minister of National Defense, Republic of Liberia, seal of the President, His Excellency Joseph Nimambuakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Citation for Distinguished Service Order. Brigadier General Ariel Thomas Johnson retired. To the ranks of Brigadier General. During his illustrious career, he demonstrated unwavering patriotism, exceptional leadership, and a deep commitment to the defense and advancement of his nation. His military journey began in 1971 at the Topman Military Academy, Toli, Liberia, where he was commissioned as an officer. Subsequently, he completed several military courses, including Infantry Officer Basic and Advanced courses at Fort Benning, Georgia, United States of America. Diploma in Defense, multiple criteria decision-making courses at the Defense Resource Management Institute at the Navy Postgraduate School in California, USA. And diploma the top African strategic course, NASA High Military Academy in Egypt, which prepared him for higher level strategic and operational roles. Throughout his career, Brigadier General Johnson held key positions within the Armed Forces of Liberia and the Ministry of National Defense, shaping the operational and tactical capabilities of the military. He served as Assistant G3 for Operation, Brigade S3, Deputy G3, and Assistant Chief of Staff G3, playing a crucial role during critical movement in Liberia's history. Following his retirement in 2005, he was later reinstated in 2007 and subsequently served as Deputy Chief of Staff, contributing to the modernization of the Armed Forces of Liberia into a professional force for good. Beyond his military service, Brigadier General Johnson played a vital role in national development, serving as Deputy Director General of Veteran Affairs at the National Bureau of Veteran Affairs from 2013 to 2017, where he championed the welfare of Liberia's veterans. His enduring contribution to the military and nation-building efforts reflect his dedication to service, leadership, and mentorship, leaving a legacy of discipline, integrity, and national pride. In recognition of his extraordinary service to the Republic of Liberia, I, Joseph Nimambuakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Citation for Distinguished Service Order, Brigadier General Ravindra Wa. Brigadier General Ravindra Y is a distinguished officer of the Michigan Army National Guard, has proven excellent leadership, strategic vision, and operational acumen throughout his military career. His service has been instrumental in enhancing operational readiness and strengthening international partnerships worldwide. He was commissioned as an infantry officer from Slippery Rock University, Pennsylvania in 1994, and has since completed numerous prestigious military courses, including the Infantry Officer Basic and Captain Career courses, the USA Army War College, Distinguished Undergraduate, and various specialized Joint Force training programs. Brigadier General Wa has held key assignments, including Assistant to the Adjutant General Army for the Michigan National Guard and Special Assistant to the Vice Chief National Guard Bureau for Pacific Initiatives. He has commanded at multiple levels, notably the commander of the 54th Security Force Assistance Brigade and Chief of the Joint Staff for the Michigan National Guard. His leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic response and international adversary role, including operational ongoing liberty in Liberia, reflects his ongoing commitment to duty and global security. His extensive service record includes key roles within the 25th Infantry Division, the 75th Ranger Regiment, and various staff and command positions within the Michigan Army National Guard. His contributions, CENTCOM, African Command, and Indo-PACOM in both staff and command roles demonstrate his strategic expertise and operational excellence. His outstanding service has earned him numerous accolades, including Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star Medal, and the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, alongside multiple prestigious military badges and qualifications. In recognition of his extraordinary service, enormous contributions, and untiring dedication to military excellence and international cooperation, I, Joseph Imambuakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, do hereby decorate and award the Distinguished Service Order to Brigadier General Joseph Imambuakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Citation for Distinguished Service Order, Colonel Anthony F. Napa, retired. Colonel Anthony F. Napa, retired, dedicated over 3 decades of exemplary service to the Armed Forces of Liberia and the Republic of Liberia. His distinguished military career spanning 31 consecutive years in the former AFL and later in the restructured AFL reflects his unwavering commitment to national security and institutional transformation. Throughout his service, he played a vital role in strengthening Liberia's military capabilities and upholding its defense priorities. From 28 February 2011 to 30 April 2013, Colonel Napa served as Commandant of the Armed Forces Training Command, AFTC, where he supervised critical training programs. Under his leadership, the first batch of Armed Forces of Liberia troops trained for deployment to the United Nations Peace Mission in Mali, enhancing the Armed Forces of Liberia's reputation as a force for good. Prior to this, he served as Assistant Chief of Staff, Grade 3, at AFL headquarters, and held several appointments in the former AFL, including Deputy G2, which is Intelligence, Chief of Finance, and Deputy Adjutant General. His strategic leadership and administrative acumen were instrumental to shaping AFL operations. Following his honorable retirement in 2003, Colonel Napa played a crucial role in Liberia's military reform efforts. His reinstatement into the new AFL in 2008 as a lieutenant colonel marked a pivotal movement in the country's civil sector reform initiative. As a senior mentor, he facilitated crucial training partnerships with the Michigan National Guard and the State of Israel, which enhanced the capabilities of the AFL. His academic credentials in military strategy and leadership include certifications from the International Defense Resource Management Program in California, USA, the Command and General Staff College in Kansas, USA, and the African Center for Strategic Studies in Washington, D.C., USA. Even in retirement, Colonel Napa remains deeply engaged in Liberia's security sector. From 2016 to 2020, he served as research and technical officer and head of the Technical Committee on Arms at the Liberia National Commission of Small Arms. In this role, he had to strengthen cooperation among national security agencies in managing and controlling state arms and armories, leaving a lasting impact on national security governance. For his invaluable contributions to the armed forces of Liberia and his enduring legacy in national defense, I, Joseph Nima Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, do hereby decorate and award the distinguished service order to Colonel Antonin F. Napa retired. Your lifelong service in Liberia reflects immense credit of yourself, your family, and the men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Given this 11th day of February 2025, Brigadier General Jolin J. George, retired Minister of National Defense, Republic of Liberia, and His Excellency Joseph Newman Boaka Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Citation for Distinguished Service Order. Councillor Francis Johnson Allison. Councillor Francis Johnson Allison is a distinguished Liberian lawyer, jurist, and public servant whose exemplary career has spanned the judiciary and executive branches, including electoral governance. Her unfaltering dedication to justice, democracy, and transparency has left an indelible mark on Liberia's legal and political landscape. Johnson Allison earned a bachelor's degree in English from the University of Liberia and later earned a law degree from the Louis Arthur Grant School of Law in Monrovia. She became a resident circuit judge in 1989 and subsequently made history as the first female Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia in 1997, during a challenging period that included the aftermath of the First Liberian Civil War. Beyond the judiciary, she contributed significantly to governance and legal reform. From 2004 to 2005, as director of the Catholic Justice and Peace Commission, JPC, she championed the rights of the voiceless and provided free legal service to the disadvantaged whose rights were violated. On her leadership as the chairperson of the National Election Commission, she successfully organized the 2005 Liberia general and presidential elections, which led to the historic election of Africa's first and democratically elected female president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. In 2006, Johnson Allison was appointed Minister of Justice and Attorney General, overseeing critical post-war legal reforms. She later served as Minister of Commerce and Industry from 2007 to 2008. In 2008, she became chairperson of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, where she championed transparency and accountability until her resignation in 2013. In addition to her public service, she has been a legal educator and advocate. She returned to private legal practice in 2013 and contributed to legal education as a professor at the Louis Arthur Grant School of Law until her resignation in 2023. Her unwavering commitment to justice, governance, and the rule of law is in keeping with the highest tradition of public service and reflects the distinct value upon herself, her family, and the Republic of Liberia. Therefore, for her commendable service to the government of Liberia, I, Joseph Newman Walker, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, do hereby decorate and award the Distinguished Service Order to Councillor Francis Johnson Allison. Your dedicated service to our country brings credit upon yourself, your family, and the men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia. During this 11th day of February 2025, Brigadier General Geraldine George, retired, and His Excellency Joseph Liman Boakai, Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Citation for Distinguished Service Order. Sister Mary Lauren Donnell. Sister Mary Lauren Brown was born on February 26, 1943 in Gidi-Tabo, Maryland County, Liberia. A devoted member of the Bernardine Francisco Sisters of the Third Order, regular of San Francisco of Assisi, who has dedicated her life to faith, education, and nation building in Liberia. A distinguished scholar, Sister Mary Lauren holds degree in French language and literature from prestigious institutions such as Avernia University, USA, La Sorbonne Nouvelle, France, and Schiller International University, France. Her academic excellence is marked by her extraordinary contributions as an educator and administrator at every level of Liberia's education system, from elementary schools to universities. As president of Stella Marie Polytechnic University, she played a crucial role in transforming the institution into a center of excellence. Beyond education, she served on multiple boards, including the Forestry Development Authority, the University of Liberia, and the Global Bank Liberia Limited, contributing to governance and policy making. A prolific author, she co-created the OYSS series and authored the growing Ourselves series and God Life series, enriching Liberian education and culture. In recognition of her outstanding contributions to education, faith, and public service, Sister Mary Lauren has received numerous national and international honor. Her tireless efforts in shaping Liberia's future stand as a demonstration of her faith, vision, and dedication to humanity. For her unparalleled service to the Republic of Liberia, I, Joseph Niman Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, do hereby decorate and award the Distinguished Service Order to Sister Mary Lauren Brown. Your unwavering service to Liberia brings immense credit upon yourself, your family, and the men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Given this 11th day of February 2025, seal of the President, Brigadier General Geraldine Gary George, retired, the Honorable Minister of National Defense, Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Niman Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. This concludes the citation for the Distinguished Service Order. Our sons are Major Boyan Milton Boyan, Lieutenant Officer of Armed Forces Training Command.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may we give a round of applause to our DSO recipients. His Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am honored and delighted to respectfully invite to the podium the Honorable Minister of National Defense, Brigadier General Geraldine George, retired, for a remark.
Your Excellency, Joseph Niman Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker and members of the 55th Legislature, Madam President Pro Tempore and members of the Liberian Senate, Her Honor the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court, Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former President of the Republic of Liberia, the Chairman on Defense for the Liberian Senate and the House of Representatives, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Dean and members of the Cabinet, current and former government officials here present, the guest speaker, His Excellency Julius Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Madam First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the Chief of Defense Staff here present and the Defense Attaché from Nigeria, heads of security institutions, heads of relations and civil society organizations, the Chief of Staff, officers, non-commissioned officers, enlisted and sailors of the Armed Forces of Liberia, the ECOWAS Advisory Team and the Office of the Security Cooperation U.S. Embassy, Liberia, family members of our guiding men and women in arms, members of the Oak Estate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As we commemorate this year's Armed Forces Day, it is with deep honor and immense gratitude that I stand before you. As we record, February 11 is a day set aside to honor the countless sacrifices of our guardian men and women in uniforms. Today provides an opportunity for us to reflect on the noble achievement of the Armed Forces of Liberia, assess our challenges we face, and look forward to the possibilities ahead of us. Armed Forces Day is a moment to recognize the tireless contribution of our soldiers, sailors, and airmen who dedicate their lives to protecting our nation and contributing to peace and security both at home and abroad. On this note, I congratulate you, our men and women in uniform, for your huge sacrifices made in safeguarding humanity over the years. It is my pleasure to welcome each of you both physically and virtually to this official program, which demonstrates our gratitude, admiration, and support to these extraordinary men and women of our military, and all those who have answered the noble call to duty but lost their lives in defense of our country. I want to take this moment to especially welcome and express my sincere thanks to our distinguished guest speaker, His Excellency Julius Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Thank you, Mr. President, for joining us today. Your Excellency, today's celebration holds a special significance not only to me, but also to the men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia in more than one ways. Today marks both the 68th anniversary of the Armed Forces of Liberia and the second Armed Forces Honor Days administration, covering the period 2024-2025. I remain extremely grateful for the opportunity to serve as the Minister of Defense and to lead this strategic endeavor. Your immense support has been instrumental in advancing the Ministry of National Defense and the AFL, enabling us to enhance our capacity and to execute our tasks efficiently both locally and internationally. Your Excellency, kindly permit me to briefly report on some of the Ministry's key activities and the progress of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Reflection on our achievement. Your Excellency, the unwavering support of the government of Liberia and our international partners, coupled with your consistent vision and intent to improve the living and working conditions of our men and women in arms, 2024 was a year of significant milestones. In 2024, we achieved significant milestones that have strengthened our defense sector, peacekeeping, and regional contributions. Your Excellency, the AFL continues to sustain security and support stability under the United Nations mandate. Our peacekeepers present in Guinea-Bissau Sudan, and South Sudan continuously highlights Liberia's ongoing commitment to international peace and solidarity. Improve military infrastructure. Through budgetary support, the government of Liberia allocated 900,000 to the armed forces of Liberia to begin renovation works at barracks across our country. I am proud to report that renovation efforts have advanced at major barracks, including Camp Jones in Takata, Makibi County, Camp Grant in Sanikwele, Lima County, while Camp Wesino in Benjida is nearing completion. Renovation work is expected to commence at the Tottenham Military Barracks, Bomi County, soon. Additionally, Your Excellency, rehabilitation works at the Ministry of National Defense, the Alpha, Bravo, Delta, and Echo buildings at the Battle Training Center is nearing completion. This will further improve the working environment for personnel of the Ministry of National Defense. International collaboration. In our effort to combat illegal fishing and enhance maritime security, the Liberian Coast Guard, in collaboration with international partners, have extended its offshore patrols to 200 nautical miles. Furthermore, through strategic partnership with China, Latvia, and Egypt, we have expanded training opportunities and introduced a cutting-edge facility, including the new reference laboratory at the 14th Military Hospital and the upcoming planned groundbreaking for the Armed Forces of Liberia Mental Wellness Center. Education and training. To enforce the importance of the knowledge of national defense for our population, the Ministry of National Defense and the Armed Forces of Liberia have developed a training manual for ROTC instructors for both senior high school and university students. Based on the opinion of the government of Liberia and our international partner on gender mainstreaming within the security sector, 95% of Armed Forces of Liberia personnel have been trained in gender-related policies, while significant progress has been made in implementing the national gender policy. I would like to extend my gratitude to our partners, especially the UN family, for standing with us in achieving this milestone. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our journey in 2024 was not only engulfed with many achievements, it was also a year marked by challenges that we must confront. These challenges include resources constraints. One of the primary challenges we face in the timely completion of critical projects such as housing for our troops and renovation of our barracks is due to limited budget allocation have hindered our ability to fully realize these objectives. Logistics shortfall. Operational efficiency is very crucial to the work we do. Inadequate vehicles, power generation issues, and insufficient medical supplies continue to impact our operational efficiency. Environmental threat. The Liberian Coast Guard base is currently threatened by coastal erosion. This challenge underscores the urgent need for sustainable environmental defense strategies. Personnel welfare. Inadequate accommodation, healthcare, and recreation facilities remains a pressing concern. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we gather up for this incredible movement ahead, in this vein, the Ministry of National Defense remains unwavering in addressing our numerous challenges and building a stronger armed forces of Liberia. Our strategic priorities for 2025 include increased budgetary support, advocating greater financial investment to address and improve important areas such as infrastructure, logistics, and training. Enhancing recruitment and training, developing the AFL capacity through more recruitment drives and specialized training programs with support from our international partners. Improving housing and health services. fast-tracking the construction of better accommodation and improving healthcare services for our soldiers and the family, strengthening maritime security, equipping the Coast Guard with enhanced tools such as boats to ensure that our security maritime borders are secure, and promoting gender inclusiveness. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate Armed Forces Day today, I ask all Liberians to join and support our brave soldiers. To our friends from around the world, we say a big thank you for your help and ask for even more support for the Liberian defense sector, especially the Armed Forces of Liberia. I also urge the government and all stakeholders to prioritize the funding and resources necessary for the Armed Forces of Liberia to carry out its mission for Liberia. Remain focused on your mission and demonstrate supreme gathering and professionalism by affirming your loyalty and service to the state as a patriotic obligation and a constitutional responsibility. May we all learn from your example and work together to build a stronger, safer. May God bless the Armed Forces of Liberia.
The Doyle and members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the visiting delegation, the Minister of National Defense of Liberia, Mr. Chief of Staff, and the gallant men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia. It is my pleasing duty to welcome for a special statement His Excellency Joseph Yumabwaga Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Commander-in-Chief.
Our guest of honor, my colleague, friend and brother, Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Australia, and Justice of the Supreme Court, our man-in-arms, our invited guests, members of the press, distinguished honorees, ladies and gentlemen. Today we assembled to once more honor and celebrate the bravery. The 8th Armed Forces Day. We pay tribute to those who have devoted their lives to protecting the territorial integrity of Liberia and ensuring the safety and security of our nation. Armed Forces Day is a time to reflect on the extraordinary contributions of our military personnel. Their unwavering commitment and patriotism have been the bedrock of our nation's defense. It is through their tireless effort that we enjoy peace and stability, and for this, we are eternally grateful. Let me extend special heartfelt welcome and gratitude to you for the great honor due us by your presence here today to share the celebratory occasion with our citizens who have chosen the noble and patriotic career of service to country. This career that you are not only familiar with, but so very much deeply experienced in. As you know, you are home away from home, just as I felt when I warmly was received in Sierra Leone recently. As we celebrate this significant day, we must also acknowledge the challenges facing the armed forces. Issues such as inadequate housing resulting to overcrowding of existing military barracks, inadequate budgetary allocation for recruitment, training, welfare, and other pressing needs have posed substantial obstacles. That is precisely why I am so exceedingly pleased and excited today to see us assembled in one accord in this serene ceremony
looking forward confidently at the future of our forces and our nation, a remarkable difference now from what endured last year. The very pains of our administration at about this time last year found manifestation in the amount of challenges facing our men and women in arms that we had inherited. Some strides have evidently been made with a firm commitment to